Okay, hey everybody, Chad Brockman, MHOR R Raceway here. We are, as you can see in front of me, I have a bunch of tires, rims, glue, satellite tire bands. Can you guess what we're doing? That's right, we're gluing tires up. So I'm going to show you here how I glue tires up, and to make it a little easier for you, and thanks to J Concepts, they have donated a couple things for me to show you. I've got new dirt products here to show you. Of course, the bullet rims and the mono rims, the dirt webs, the 2.2 and the 60 millimeter. Of course, their line is super glue. They're thin and medium viscosity, and of course, they're satellite tire bands. So let's get underway here. First things first, we have, of course, everyone knows about the newer style tires. These are the newer 60 millimeter style tires. These are the old 2.2 style tires here. These are both J Concepts here, you can see. They both look pretty comparable to each other. The only main difference is when you pull them sideways, you can definitely see the inner lip here on the 2.2, where on the 2.4, the inner lip is missing. A lot of people are saying that the 2.2 is smaller than the new 60 millimeter, and it kind of technically is, and it isn't. Depends on how you look at things. If I were to take two rims here, this is a 60 millimeter rim and a 2.2 millimeter rim, and put them side by side here, you can actually see that the mounting bead for the 60 millimeter is equal to the outer bead of the 2.4. So just, if you were to take this bead right here and go flat across, you have this rim. When a tire sits on here, let me show you here. I actually have tires here cut up to show you here. Original 2.4, we've run forever. I think 1990-ish, somewhere around there. Somebody made a 2.2 from and it was a big controversy. So now this is the standard basically. As you can see, it basically steps down into these grooves here, and then comes up and around, and then goes back down, steps into the grooves. When you look at a 60 millimeter tire and rim, like this, it just sits flat. You can see the tire just comes around and sits flat in here. If you were to take it, and let's take the rims off here, and hold it like this here. If you were to compare these two, if you were to take it and chop off this little section here that goes down into the rib of the 2.2 tire, you actually have the same tire that is here on the 60 millimeter. So if you have a bunch of these old tires, but you have new rims, if you take it, you cut this off, flush across here, you can glue these tires onto the newer style rims. The main difference between the two that I see, if we put this back here, the basic overall height, we both are using J Concept dirt web tires on this. The basic overall profile of the tire is the same between the two tires. The main difference is the air gap. The air gap between the top of the tire and the rim versus top of the tire and the rim. There's a lot more air gap in the old 2.2 style rim versus the new 60 style rim. So this causes the tire to be more firm. It feels more firm on the track. It also doesn't flex around as much. So the tire stays in place better on the 60 millimeter than the old 2.2. Also, because the tire is a little bit bigger and you don't have this on the tire, these tires are a little bit lighter, so nice for like 17.5, so less rotating mass also. So that's two things for you to look at. Gluing wise, the new 60 millimeter is definitely a lot easier to glue than the old 2.2. They're still not that hard as long as you know what to do. So let's walk you through gluing both styles. Okay, first thing you need to do before you do anything with your tires is you need to clean your tires. And that's where the Dirt Tech Dirt Web products, he has this nice dirt cleaner, part number 8000-1. It works really well. Normally it comes with a just standard top. You kind of squirt stuff out in. But if you go and buy these Dirt Tech sprayers that they offer, it gives you a nice little pump, and you can spray it out real easy. Use some paper towels. A couple sprays on here, and all you're going to do is you're going to wipe the edge that touches the rim. So you want to make sure you're getting all the release agent off. You can see I'm getting a little bit of black off here. We go here, even worse here. So now we have cleaned both sides, and then spray just a little bit more on here. Just because you get your oils from your hands and everything else on there, it's not a bad idea to take it and just clean the rims real quick. Just like that there. Now inserts, the way you can tell the two different inserts apart is definitely the 2.4 insert is thicker than the new 60 millimeter style. So we'll fold this and put this into here. Try to get it all seated in there. These new Dirt Tech liners are a lot better than the old standard open cell foams. You had to cut down and try and profile yourself. These are actually designed to fit inside the tire. You can actually see, if I were to take it and put this onto here, you can actually see it fills the whole tire up, and you don't have a thick spot or a thin spot in there. Let's put this 60 millimeter tire in here. There you go. Just like that there. This right here. Just slide over a tire like that. And usually I'll go past a little bit, up high, and then push it down. So it pushes against that little ridge that's in there. So you have it on both sides. Looks like you have a pretty good seat here. It's a nice thing about the 60s is they do seat actually really nice. Okay, 2.2. Put it on just like this. You can see I'm not quite in here, so I just need to work it around. And kind of lifting and pulling, lifting and pulling, lifting and pulling, but you see it doesn't quite seat all the way down. You can definitely see gaps here. In here, it doesn't quite seat all the way down, all the way. Run it through your hands, just kind of get everything down a little bit. It's about as good as I'm going to get it right there. It's a nice thing. J Concept also makes these really nice satellite tire bands. As you pull, you can actually have an area to hold on to, so you know you get this all in the right area. Okay, I'll put these on both of them here. It's like that there, and you make sure you're getting a good seat. You can press it down a little bit and kind of feel where it'll hit the back. This one right here, you just want to make sure it's all seated in here. Okay, J Concepts offers a couple different types of glue. They offer a thin glue here or a medium glue. If you've never glued tires before, I recommend staying away from the thin glue. Look at the medium glue. J Concepts has a nice medium tire glue here. Open it up. It actually has a little needle in the cap, stuff like that, to prevent the top from opening. And they have these nice little caps that go on the top here, so you can help glue a little bit better. These caps or tips are great because it helps you actually get the glue where you want to get the glue at. The only problem with them is these tips are kind of one-time use. So what I recommend doing is get yourself like a glass baby food jar like this. Fill it up with acetone just a little bit. Then when you're done using this, just pop this off, throw it down in there. Let it sit for a little bit. Get some pliers, pull it out, and it'll clean all of the super glue out of it. But what we're going to do here, sure I can get some thing down here. Oh yeah, this is a nice tip. If you don't like working with this long a tip, you can actually cut it down shorter, so it's a little easier to work with. We'll start with the 60 millimeter rim here. As you can see here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back a little bit on the rim just to expose it a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll pull back just like this, and I'm going to take this tip right here. This tip is just going to go just like that. Push it in a little bit and get down a little deeper there. There we go. Rotate. Just like that there. Doesn't take a lot of glue, just you have to make sure you get glue in the right spot. So I make sure I get glue here on the flat spot here. I'm just going slowly around it. All I'm doing, not making a mess. I'm not gluing my tire bands on like some videos do. And just like that. You see we made it all the way around. You can see where I started there, just a little bit of glue. You can take a rag, lightly clean up your area. Just like that. You don't need a ton of excess glue. Now here's the 2.2, and we're going to do the same thing with it. All I'm going to do is just peel it back just a little bit. Just like that there. That's all I'm going to do with my thumb. And we're going to take this here. Just right down by the edge. Just keep a continuous bead going all the way around. Stop, rotate. We go around here like this. Stop, rotate. Go around. Stop, rotate. Like that there. Again, it doesn't take a whole lot of glue. You just want to make sure you're gluing in the right area here. And as you can see, I can't peel this out. That means that's my starting point. And if you look, I did pretty good. I got just a little bit of excess out right there. But, you know, my tire bands aren't glued on, which is definitely a good thing. And now you're just going to let these sit here a little bit. And as you let them sit here a little bit, they'll dry really well. Then after, we'll come back here in a couple minutes. I'll flip them over and we'll glue the back side. Then we'll see how they glued up. So I'll be back in a couple minutes here. Okay, we're back here. It's been a total of about 3 minutes. I know it doesn't seem like a lot of time, but if I pop these off here and if you glued them right and you clean the tire really well, you can see I can actually try and peel this whole tire back and it stays in place pretty well. Same thing with the 2.2 style. I can try and peel it back and it stays in really well. So now we're going to do the back side. And to change things up a little bit, I'm going to switch over to the J Concepts thin tire glue. If you're not experienced with glue, I do not recommend using this stuff. The main reason why is because you'll end up gluing everything to it, and you'll end up looking like a video on YouTube, and you'll end up gluing these to the tire. So definitely something you don't want to do. If you're careful with it, it's not a bad thing to do. The main difference between a thick and a thin is going to be dry time. Thin's going to dry a little bit faster, which means, but it also will run everywhere a lot quicker too. So you can see I'm pushing the 60 millimeter down. It kind of peeled up a little bit, so I'm just pushing it down so it meets the stop point in the back. This right here, I'm all the way down. So what we're going to do we're going to do this here again. This is the 60 millimeter rim here. And what we're going to do is take our J Concepts thin glue, and again, we put the tip back on it again. If you don't use a tip, you're going to make a mess, and it's definitely end up having everything glued to everything. What we're going to do is just, again, peel back a little bit. And this thin glue is a lot thinner. You'll see it actually pops out a little quicker here. So you don't really need as much, but it does run through cracks when you close it off here. It actually will seep through everything, and you can get everything glued up. There you go. But you actually see I made a little bit bigger mess with the thin glue. You can see all the extra beads, stuff like that out of there. If you take it in real careful, this is why I don't usually like using thin glue. Just can make a bigger mess. So there we go. Doesn't look too bad. But you can definitely see how easy it'd be to run over the top and end up gluing these to the tire, and then it'd be a mess, stuff like that. So let this one sit here. We'll do the thin glue here again. So I'll peel back here. And just back a little ways. little cleaner on that one. They'll usually use the thin glue on the 2.2 versus the 60 millimeter. But as you can see, I got just a little bit on the outside. Nothing bad. It's actually pretty nice. The other thing you can do with thin glue if you want, it works better with the old style 2.2 style. If you want an extra bead, you can take an extra bead. And if you just run a light bead around the outside, it'll kind of run a little bit. This is what this glue is really good for, really. Just kind of sealing up the edges. There you go, just like that there. I'll let these sit here for a little bit and we'll come back to them. Okay, lasts a little longer this time. Another couple minutes went by here, about 5 minutes into it. Probably didn't even need to wait this long. I'll pull these off here. These nice satellite tire bands from J Concepts. Work really well. And as you can see, tires glued on really well. Both on the 60 millimeter and the 2.4. So there you go, the easy way how to glue tires on using medium or thin glue. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys have a great week. Till then, good luck, good racing.